I represent from midnight to high noon.
What's up? It's Tim, High Noon's Vinyl, your friendly neighborhood vinyl dad. Oliver's not here at the moment. Well, he's here, but he's on assignment. He's in his room. I don't know, playing something with friends. They're killing. They're giggling. I'm concerned. Anyway, so it's just going to be us. That's okay. So he's actually enjoying some friend time because he starts school tomorrow. I know it's early here in Florida, but you know, he's excited to go back, but same token, summer's over. So, but as promised many months ago, maybe it wasn't that many, but it was enough, I went to the grand opening of Grooveland. So Grooveland, and if my magical fingers are working, we'll cut in some footage here. Grooveland is the new store from the people who brought us the original Triangle vinyl from years gone by that I've talked about numerous times here. They had been at a kind of a standing flea market at Reniger's Flea Market, which is about 40 minutes from here. They had taken over a shop. They were the booth owner there was retiring and just needed to get out, so that was their way back in. And business was really good, but they had always wanted to do a brick and mortar again. So this was kind of their opportunity. And they're back with a passion, a great layout. They are dabbling into vintage clothing as well. And more geared more for like the vintage dresses and things like that. But still, you never know what they're going to get. So they're still new, but he's been posting on socials. He's active on Facebook at Grooveland Vinyl or Grooveland Vintage and Vinyl. I will try to link it below. But on the grand opening, I had to go see him. And here's what I got. So uncharacteristic about some of the stuff I remember from Triangle Vinyl. He just didn't carry a lot of 45s, but he had a nice selection of them in this time, so I picked up a few, and if I remember correctly, I think all these are picture sleeve. Yeah, they are. So, No More Lonely Nights from Mr. Paul McCartney. The B-side is, the one side's the ballad, the B-side is the disco version. Don't Lose My Number by Phil Collins. Believe the B-side is We Said Hello Goodbye. I cannot remember if that's a non-album cut. It's available on the compact disc version only of No Jacket Required. Next I picked up was a little Word Up from Cameo. Super clean. Always great to have that one. Mr. Weird Al Yankovic. Eat It. And the B-side was, I think it was Nature Trade of Hell. It was also on the album. King Suede and Nature Trade of Hell. Yes. So, and then I picked up Chains of Love from Erasure. I believe the B-side is an album cut as well. It's No Surprise. And then Silent Runnings from Mike and the Mechanics. The B-side is available on there, also on their debut album, Par Avion. So those were the 7 inches I picked up. Definitely all in great condition. Glad I scored them all. Some additions to the 7-inch collection. So it wouldn't have been a proper grand opening, if you will, if I didn't look through everything, and I did. Because it was a grand opening, there wasn't a lot. I mean, there was a good amount, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, it was overflowing like you would see some stores that have been in the business a while and then having some sales. I actually did not look at the dollar records. It just, I've been steering kind of clear from them. I'd either find stuff that it's like, I'm just buying it because it's $1 and it's not in the greatest shape, but that's okay. So some of these were from the $5 bin. Some of these were from the regular bin. These were from the regular. Got a twofer from Jeff Beck, Truth and Beckola. Both of these are later reissues. That's okay. They sound fantastic. And neither one were in the collection, but they are now. Glad to add those to the mix. Mr. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Yeah, it looked better than it played. There's a couple of pops that I will probably upgrade. I don't know if I'm going to go for just an uber clean or go for CBS Half-Speed Master. But I'm really trying to tidy up my Bruce collection. He's not getting younger. So, but I thought I had this and I did not. So, but it plays, it's decent. In fact, but when I brought it home and cleaned it, I think I played it 2 or 3 times in a row. So I'm happy with it. It'll be a placeholder for until I get a really clean minty copy. That's not something I do often anymore, as placeholders. Songs in the Attic from Mr. Billy Joel. Hopefully he is recovering from his health incidents of late. Would love to see him get back on stage for one final push, but I just don't know if it's in the cards. But I'm always adding and trying to get as many as I can of Mr. Billy Joel. Absolutely adore him. Nice addition to the Elvis Costello collection. Trust. To me, from like My Aim Is True all the way up through the 80s, I'm all in. And that's not even saying that I don't like some of his 90s stuff, but, for that 12-year run or whatever, I'm all in. So glad to add that one to the collection. And still need a few more, but slowly building on that. I actually picked this up, I think it was just a few days before Sly had passed, out of the $5 bin, and this one is obviously the greatest hits. It's nice to be able to just pull one thing and have all the classic cuts. OG press, played super clean. It was great to see the doc that Questlove did and kind of put him back front and center in our mind, and see that he had gotten to see some of his praise, but losing him not too soon after was a blow. So to me, this is just a cornerstone of funk and that hip hop sound. And I hope everyone has some fantastic Sly in their collection. The greatest hits is always a good one to have. Picked this one up. This one was just staring at me in the face, and I don't see a lot of very clean Parliament. This is borderline VG plus. It's been played, but it's one of those things that's like either you're paying up for some of this stuff or you're getting reissues, and they are doing a reissue campaign, I believe, on some of the early Funkadelic stuff. So hopefully Parliament will be soon after. But whenever I see this and it's a good enough to go, I gotta get it, because Parliament was just a huge staple of mine in the 70s and 80s growing up. Listening to that stuff was just killer. And then there was a couple that were I had seen in the kind of the flip and the wall for the announcement of the grand opening, and I was hoping that when I got there they'd be there. It wasn't right there at open, and luckily they both were. There's James Brown's Reality, OG press on Polydor, with the James Brown production face on the label. What can you say about James Brown in the 70s on Polydor? It's just killer stuff. Reality, Funky President, Further Up the Road, Check Your Body, Don't Fence Me In, All for One, I'm Broken Hearted, The Twist, and Who Can I Turn To? Just absolute killer funk. But the funk don't stop there. This was one of the absolutely cleanest copies I think I've ever seen of Hell. It was sitting on the wall. Cut a great deal on it. Had to come home with me. I had seen this once in the wild, and it was beat, like it was VG minus, maybe good plus, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm taking this home. But so obviously didn't, this wasn't a $20 record, but I'm glad to have scored it, because this one's just absolutely killer funk. So James Brown, Hell, absolutely glad to have added this one to the collection. And my James Brown's growing, so at least by 2, right? So So that's what I pulled from the grand opening. So right before he was done at the shop, I did go visit him one last time at the flea market, Renegers, that he was set up at. And, we're just chitting and chatting and, had offered, hey, it's like, hey, if you need an extra pair of hands, text me. But he was good and it was where they were working on packing some stuff up. And I saw something on the wall and I was like, I don't think you need to pack that. And he's like, well, let's cut a deal. And we did. And it was a heck of a deal and I couldn't say no. And my luck, as soon as I do it, they announce a reissue. But that's okay because I got an OG. Buckingham Nicks. This is the gatefold. So not even an 80s repress. This is the real deal. Not a boot. Absolutely sounded amazing. This plays beyond VG Plus. I mean, this might be excellent to near mint. I mean, this was, and I paid for that, but I still got a deal. But I know the reissues are going to be there, but with all the stuff that's gone down over the years, I'm always scared. Yeah, obviously there was fires and stuff like that, but and to record a digital file from the master tapes, and that's what you're working from. You can say it's from the master tapes. And that's okay. I mean, I'm not one of these like pure analog all the way snobs. But when I put this on, and this is one of those ones that, if I was going to get the reissue, I'd spring for the upgraded version, the more audiophile fidelity one, because the space in this record is so needed to really bring it home. But with mine, I know I've got it. And I'm so glad that I did, because this one's eluded me for a minute and I'm glad to have it. So we all know this kicked off the Fleetwood Mac era with Buckingham Nicks, so there's no need to really talk about it. But so that's the stuff that I've pulled. I think I may have some stuff still in the crate from when I saw him at the flea market before he moved. I haven't had a chance to go back yet. Things have been a busy summer. Usually June is kind of no dice, and July was just as bad. It was brutally hot, so travel was rough. You walk outside and you lose all your motivation to even get in the car. But things are kind of picking up a little bit with free time, a little bit more. Hoping to kind of visit some more. And I got to show you what I picked up from Foundation recently. They moved about a year ago, and I've got some footage from when they first moved that I want to share with you. But I'd like to also go back and kind of just show you how it's changed. It's really growing. So Foundation is still a key point of what I do. I got some stuff on pre-order, so I may have to go do the Park Ave again. So, and I'm literally looking at piles upon piles that I have not shown. So I gotta get busy. So with that, thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody's doing well, and hopefully everybody had a great summer. School, welcome back. Talk to everybody soon. Love y'all. Peace.